Om Shanti. Everyone, I suggest sit straight. Put your head also in the center because sometimes different energies make our head tilt, but it is necessary to centralize. So put your head straight and take very, very deep breath and relax each part of your body with every breath. Let your all parts of the body relax. Take deep breath. Take in and out few times. Take breath so it reaches every so that you are able to concentrate properly. And then you draw all your attention towards the awareness. Yeah, self straight and relax. And with every thought, give it to your breath first and let it go through all parts of your body so there is no tension, there is no stress. Every part of the body is relaxed. And I bring the feelings and the thoughts of my original self, my eternal self. Eternally, I am a loveful and a peaceful soul. I am completely pure, loveful and peaceful. Take this energy of love and peace into your entire body. As I immerse this pure self, pure being, and very, very calm and peaceful. So I'm connecting with my eternal self and taking these vibrations of purity, peace, God's love into my total being, whole being, and Lord, with these are beautiful, powerful vibrations I give to my body so that there can be alliance between soul and the body. So now breathe peacefully and it has love, creating a peaceful mind. I connect with one who is ever pure, one who is ocean of peace, ocean of love. My eternal relationship with one. I belong to one. As His ocean and bestower, I merge myself in this ocean, totally merged. As Baba gave example of fish in water. So I dive very deeply in this ocean of love, ocean of peace, and Almighty Baba. Go deeper and deeper in the ocean. Stay in the depth of the ocean. Feel the coolness of the ocean and the air. And in this eternal self image, experiencing my natural inherent qualities from God. All God's qualities, all God powers are in this eternal self. But we have to claim it 100% so that I also become master ocean. This eternal self, deep in this ocean, realizing and claiming all my powers as often as possible during the keep reminding ourselves of our inheritance. Baba always says, remember me and your inheritance. I can be reminded of inheritance when I am on my eternal awareness of eternal self, being completely pure, peaceful, loveful. As I am immersed in this ocean, and when I emerge, I feel the fullness Now I take drishti from Baba and lose my own identity, the identity of I with name and form. But through Baba's drishti, take your identity of eternal self, a pure self, a peaceful self, a real experience of being God's child. Baba is pure love through Baba's, making us forget the past, cleansing and empowering.
पवित्रता ही मानता है, पवित्रता ही योगी जीवन का आधार। कभी कभी बच्चे अनुभव करते हैं कि अगर चलते चलते मनसा में भी अपवित्रता अर्थात वेस्ट व नेगेटिव पर चिंतन की संकल्प चलती है तो कितना भी योग पावरफुल चाहती है होता है होता है क्यों शराबी अंश मात्र संकल्प में भी किसी प्रकार की अपवित्रता है तो जहाँ अपवित्रता का अंश है वहाँ पवित्र पाप की याद जो है जैसा है वैसे नहीं आ सकता। जैसे दिन और रात इकट्ठा नहीं होता, इसीलिए बाप दादा वर्तमान समय पवित्रता के ऊपर बार बार अटेंशन दिलाते। कुछ समय पहले बाप दादा श्रम कर्म में अपवित्रता के लिए इशारा देते थे, लेकिन अभी समय संपूर्णता के समीप आ रहा है। इसलिए मनसा में भी अपवित्रता का अंश धोखा दे देगा। इसलिए मनसा वाचा कर्मणा संबंध संपरक सब में पवित्रता अति आवश्यक है। मनसा को हल्का नहीं करना, क्योंकि मनसा बाहर से दिखाई नहीं देती, लेकिन मनसा धोखा बहुत देती है।
Om Shanti. Avyakt Bapdada said that at this time we have to have purity of thoughts, and because we are serving through the mind, and also we want to be in Baba's remembrance. And Baba said it is very, very important to have pure thoughts for remembrance, and also to give good wishes and also to sakash to others. So paying attention about others, or sometimes wasteful thoughts from the past sanskars, when during the cycle how we go through from the eternal when the soul is sato pradhan, and then it becomes sato, rajo, and tamo. As even when we get few moments where we are not connected through internet, it's good because we can go in silence, and what we have heard, we can create experience of it, we can contemplate on it, but not have the thoughts what's happening, what's not happening, but give the vibration so that start working. That is my practice actually. So I was talking about that we begin our journey from Sato Pradhan stage, that is in golden age, then Sato stage in silver age, then Rajo, and then Tamo. So these three are called the qualities, the stages or degrees of purity. Because when Baba says, as much you remember me, you become Sato Pradhan. He doesn't say only Sato, Sato Pradhan. So let us begin from that we had reached in Kalyug, in Iron Age, at our Tamo Pradhan stage. And Tamo means it could be darkness, it could be black. It's like very negative, Tamo Pradhan, very vicious, in other words, full of vices. So the thoughts also, when the degrees of purity declined, the thoughts also very naturally, because of body consciousness, were very much connected with one vice or other. And they were like big storms in the mind, lot of wasteful thoughts. And we thought, well, it's the mind who is creating all these thoughts. What to do now? But when we came to Baba, we knew that whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, but I can change them, and also I can create other thoughts. I can't just sit back and say, I don't know what's happening to my mind or to thoughts. They are going in different directions. So before we were helpless, we didn't know how to help. But now Baba has taught us that how to immediately change your thought and also create very positive thought. So what happens that from Tamo, when we start remembering Baba, then that alloy which was mixed in the soul, and that is why we use golden, silver, copper, and iron age, right? We call it golden age, silver age, copper age, iron age. So Tamo Pradhan is called iron age. So that means it's very dark, it's very black. So when we remember Baba, then that alloy start melting. Remembrance, remove the alloy. So first our alloy is removed is alloy of Tamo Pradhan stage or Tamo stage. And we do feel that we don't have negative thought as before. Like before was, if you are upset, then you get very angry, then very internally violent, or start kind of giving bad wishes, curses to the this soul should be like that, should be punished. And even Didi Manmohini taught me to say someone, let's say somebody is doing something which is hurting you, and you say, you will see when Baba will give you the return of karmas. She said, no, you can't curse anyone because karma is karma. Soul has to settle, but why you have to say this? So she used to say that's the negative thought. So there was a lot of correction when we will speak, I will take about words later, that through your words we know internally what kind of, is it tamo, is it sato, it is rajo. So tamo is when you are very upset, when you are very angry, you are, even if you are not showing it, but somewhere, it's happening. That means your power of yoga, you are not burning the alloy of tamo. And actually at this time, we should see, because I feel maybe very partially little bit tamo is left. It shouldn't be. That's what my feeling is for Baba's children. There shouldn't be any tamo left. But once in a while, some strong sanskars are visible into different moods, into different thinking. So that is why it is very important to put yourself on this journey immediately. Two practices can help. One is remembering Baba, of course, but when you are in that influence of sanskar, it's not easy to remember. No, Baba said that not easy when there is any impurity. You can't have really proper remembrance of Baba. As Baba says, as I am, it's only when you have pure thoughts you can remember me in that. But otherwise, what you can do immediately is start emerging your eternal self. Who am I? I am Baba's child. I am eternally loveful, peaceful, pure. It's like, in Lokik life and path of devotion, we used to chant mantras. Whenever there was bad influence, whether on the self or at home, people will say constantly chant mantra. And chanting is easy because you have to verbally do it, and you just say Om Namo Shivaya or whatever. But here internally now, it's not a chanting, but it's kind of creating thoughts, who I was eternally, so that you can connect with Baba. And when you will start connecting with Baba, then that tamo sanskar, which are partially, if they are there, maybe 1%, maybe 10, in some it could be little more, but we will be able to burn that alloy, and we will move in, and we will find that we are moving forward now. And then it comes to Rajo. So we understand Sato, then we know what is Tamo. No, because in that Vishnu form, Tamo is also shown as feet, the bottom, completely lower stage. And then as we move onwards and forward, then it's the Rajo. So the definition of Rajo is something which is stale, which is adulterated. So stale, stale means from the past. Like you eat food from yesterday, day before yesterday. It's a Rajo food actually. Sato food is when you offer to Baba, you eat fresh. It's called Sato. So Rajo is called stale food. And it's very common in this country. Some people now is different for Brahmins because we have to offer bhog, we cook every day. But otherwise, some people cook for one whole week and then every day they eat, or they cook twice a week. But Baba's children, so anything which is from the past comes in the mind. Now it is very easy that someone behaved with you in a particular way or told you something about someone. As soon as you look at that person, the thought comes, this one is like that. So now this thought is not pure thought, right? It is a conditioned thought coming from the past. So in a way, it is Rajo thought. So anything which is adulterated from the past, and for that, the main practice is really emerging your eternal form. What I do, that, let's say, responses to different things, like someone tell you about a situation or says something, so immediately now we don't react because reaction is part of impurity, but we have to respond, right? So for me, when I see my response is based on the feelings of other person, I cancel it. I cannot have, let's say somebody said something about a situation and there is a response, and I write it and I then keep it. I don't send it because I know that still little bit response is coming based on the feelings of other person. And I learned from Dadi Janki that if you want to resolve a situation, first your feelings should be very clean. And feelings clean means, so what I do, I just go into my in silence, peaceful, eternal self, and then I see how my mind thinks now. So sometimes I read 4 times, and fourth time what I wrote was coming from the true self. Other was coming because of this one or little influence, or this one thinks that way. Subtle influence is always there while responding. But if you are responding with that honesty, if you're responding from your eternal self, then actually the not only problem is solved, but other soul will get power from that. I have last week a very, very good experience that is an ongoing situation in relationships. So people say things and other people say then other. And for me as a spiritual person, for me, I have both parties as same because they doing for some benefit others. And but my good wishes were that it should be resolved. Somewhere they should settle it. It's karmic account, and not by just being aggressive or just keep saying these are rules, regulations, forcing them some way, but it should come from somewhere. And interestingly, that soul immediately wrote to me that I want just good relationships. I don't, whole thing changed quickly. And that was a long time, since many years there was this kind of aggressive relationship between souls. So what I'm saying is that when we start thinking even for few moments based on the awareness of my eternal self, and eternal self, in other words, is when you are driving a car. So you have to bring it to neutral when you're not clear, right? You put to one gear, it doesn't work. Second gear does. You come to neutral and then you again put to whichever is needed. So this stage of eternal self has to be used more often, which I did, I think, last few months I had been doing it. And then in that pure state of mind, pure feelings, what you think is very positive, very practical, and it works also. So I'm just giving example that the Rajo is lot in us because we are still somewhere using the past. It does just appear about a person or about situation, about even your own responses, it could come. So all that is waste. And it's a lot of waste because you have to clear it. It's not going to help you, make you strong, or even feel you good or stronger. Because many, many souls are internally deeply sitting with lot of past. And it's natural because they are. But because at present we are not creating enough elevated thoughts. So creating my eternal true self, eternal image, is such a beautiful practice to clear the past, keep clearing the past. It happened, it was accurate, it got settled, something was there. But just keep reminding self, those examples will come. We will keep directly, indirectly thinking or talking about that. So this Rajogun, mm, which is adulterated thoughts, doesn't have that purity, that capacity, and they are always conditioned. Really, if you look at each thought and say, is it conditioned from half an hour before? Someone did something to you, said something you, now you are thinking that way. So is this a pure thought? No, it's Rajoguni thought. So Lord Rajogun. Now that Rajogun, that means alloy of copper, has to be burnt in fire of yoga. For complete purity, Rajogun has to go. And for that, I think if we pay attention, big realization comes why I am thinking in this way now. If someone said something, but why I am now thinking, let me keep to my own principles, let me keep to my own dharana. I always remind myself, what is my dharana? What has supposed to be my stage? And then you keep bringing to change your feelings immediately. So that's what we want this week of purity to practice, to bring, change the feelings and the thoughts. Keep bringing what? Oh, I shouldn't be thinking like that. No, that's not the way it is. Let me bring my eternal image, eternal self. I am a pure soul. I am peaceful. I am loveful. Just few moments, go into that experience, and you say your feelings will lighten, it will clear, and you just come out. And then way you start thinking and talking and your attitude. Otherwise, we waste a lot of time up and down going into Rajo. Not Tamo that often, but definitely between Rajo. And then we move from there and we become Sato. And we have to become Sato. Pradhan Baba said that it is through my remembrance you will become Sato Pradhan. So first, as Dadi Baba also said, no wasteful thoughts. So every time you have to respond to something which you find you're not able to take it, whether it's right or wrong, immediately immerse your eternal image, eternal self. Come to your Anadi Sarup, and then based on that, create your attitude, your thoughts, your drishti. Because every moment of life, wherever we are with the souls we live, in any relationship, there are some karmic accounts there. But then how do I change them from that bondage into relationship and preparing for golden age relationships? Why we are together was good part, but some karmic accounts too, but also some good future also, where we will be together playing a beautiful part in golden age. But in between at confluence age, going back to the original self is the main practice. So then comes to Sato. And Sato is that, so there are three types of thoughts. One is pure, and other is clean thoughts, and third is elevated thoughts. It's a good thought, it's a pure thought, but not necessarily a auspicious thought. Many times it happens, you're going out of door somewhere and someone says, oh, I hope nothing happens. Instead of saying all the best, nothing will happen. So what is elevated? No, sresht we call it. So pavitra, shuddh and sresht. And fourth, I always say shant, thought of peace. So as much there is purity, that is why I say big definition of purity. And I still always remember these words when she said, honesty, cleanliness, and simplicity. Because when there is purity, mm, and then clean, pure means pure thoughts. But then clean means there are no selfishness, there is no feeling of, like complaining subtly or lack of contentment, and they're not clean. No. At this time, I request everyone, every moment, live with contentment. Whatever is happening, Baba is making it happen. If you have many pure wishes, Baba will fulfill, yeah, but not have any discontent, any kind. Every moment, total contentment. That's what I remind myself, that the sign of content, sign of Sato Pradhan stage is also contentment. And Baba also had said recently that contentment uh, is your stage of perfection. Contentment is also complete purity. So at this time, everyone, whatever part everyone is playing, whatever, because see, we only know little, right, by seeing that person. But what are the karmas? Is between God and the soul. What I can do, just give good wishes all the time. Have good wishes for well-being of that person instead of having waste thoughts. Because waste thoughts won't help that soul. Won't help me also. So contentment, no, Baba said, jewel of contentment, santushtamani. See, this deep contentment at this time is very, very important. That happens as much you are becoming Sato Pradhan. That means your alloy is being removed now. So your thinking is changing. So have pure thoughts, then clean thoughts, and then third is elevated thoughts. Always for everyone and for your own self, elevated. Sresht, Shuddh and then Sresht. Shubh, they call it. Shubh means auspicious. Many times people say things, we say no. Speak auspicious, think auspicious. So more you think and speak auspicious, then energy around will be very auspicious. And now is not the time really for, really no time to waste into looking at who is who, what is this, what this one is doing, but have elevated thoughts, the vibrations, the atmosphere. Shubh. I believe lot in Shubh. Shubh socho, Shubh bolo. Mm. So elevated, pure, then clean, then elevated, and within you, complete contentment. So now, at this time, Baba wants us to be Sato Pradhan, right? So what will emerge? Sometimes very little of Tamo, when you are disappointed, you are sad, lost, like, your face shows that there's something deep in you. No, that is Tamo, because taking you all the way very down in your state, mm, somewhere deeply, so that alloy has to be removed. Sirin Baba's remembrance, fire of yoga, I have to burn the alloy of Tamo. And then when you find that every time everything is coming from past influence, it's Rajo. And we can't keep that for long, right? Let's move on now to Sato and then to Sato Pradhan state. And for that, it is both ways. Now, when we come to Baba, our intellect is Tamo Pradhan. So you understand little, you do it, then it changes. So always remember every time that as much my mind and intellect are becoming Sato Pradhan, my understanding of knowledge, my inculcation of knowledge, my quality of yoga, everything will improve. No, that is called moving towards stage of perfection or purity. Because in purity you are ascending and you are feeling within yourself that now really my heart is very clean now. My mind is always very happy. And as Baba talked, you really feel towards the end of meditation, I was feeling what is super sensitive joy, where your every sense organ, every sense is just kind of floating and feeling so good, like super sensitive joy. Not only happiness, but super sensitive joy is more deeper or blissful stage, anand, what we call it, where you are beyond now sorrow and happiness. You are blissful stage, which Baba says is also a blank blessing. So in journey of purity, with the journey of remembrance, because we want to have good yoga, but Baba said as one who is ever pure, you need a pure energy to stay with Baba. No, if you are in Rajoguni, how can you be with Baba? So that what happens, because we remember Baba, we make effort, whether it is good yoga or not. Baba definitely gives some reward. Baba keeps helping us, helping us. But to really burn and to be like Baba, to stay next to Baba, we need a pure and a Satopradhan stage. And then remembrance is natural. Remembrance doesn't have effort, but purity has effort. And I like when Baba said, when you are pure, you are able to remember Baba as he is. Because many say, no, that how do I recognize Baba? We all have different kind of percentage of recognition and knowing him as he is, like each other. No, we come to know each other a little bit from our perspective. A time comes, you say, I know. Mhm. I know I had been working with many instruments, and when they have a question, they call me on a situation, but amongst themselves they say, oh, now we know Sister Winnie, she will say this. But they still call me and I say, I think this way. So we thought about that. Because then they come to know what are my principles, the way I think, what are my goals, and recognition happens. Same is with Baba. When we work with Baba, know Baba, then recognition. But as Baba said, when there is purity, then you recognize Baba as he is a very important point, which many Brahmins ask, how do I know? I know Baba as he is. So our purity, level of purity will help us. See, when I came in Gyan, all of us think, oh, I have 100% faith in Baba. We love BK life. We are always about it. So once we were sitting and Brahma Baba came and Baba looked at all of us. We were many of us, 8, 10 of us. What is percentage of your faith? We said 100%. Baba smiled, said no. If you had 100% faith, so Baba smiled and we were kind of, oh, we sacrificed, left our home because of our 100% faith. Baba said, you haven't recognized Baba 100%. And today when Avek Babdada said, when purity helps you, so Baba said, I said, Baba, how much? Baba said 70% at this time, but you have to become 100%. Because if I'm child of God, I have faith. What should be my stage now? At least my faith should show I'm God's child, God's love, this feeling. So we all have to make it on our journey and reach to a stage Satopradhan. We don't want to know. Baba said, if Baba asks, how many of you want to become Ram and Sita? Nobody raise hand. When I say, how many of you want to become Lakshmi Narayan? Everyone raise hand. So we have to become Satopradhan. We have to be complete. So on this journey, just understand and practice at the level of thoughts, because that is, they say that mind is the mirror. So it is in your mirror of the mind you can see from where thoughts are coming, what is the energy level at this time, and change it. Take your time. Baba has given us time now to improve, make our every thought pure, clean, and elevated based on Sato Pradhan stage, and keep burning the alloy. And that is why to have good yoga and good stage of purity, and know this ups up and down. Huh? If somebody keeps you go up and down, go up and down, you say, why I have to do it? But what about internally? Why our stage has to go up and down? Hmm? Why not ascending? And ascending means you have to be auspicious, pure, then clean and auspicious. Always think higher, always elevated for yourself and for everyone else. And so this is the journey of purity from Tamo Pradhan stage to Sato Pradhan, and then will be the original stage. Now is eternal. So practice whole day, uh, 10 times, 20, 30. I had been doing it, and it's very nice because it clears the feelings and create very beautiful thoughts and the feelings. And clearing feelings take more time than thoughts. Thoughts with intellect, you can say, I don't want to think. But the feelings which has gone in, actually nothing should touch our feelings. But if they have, then emerge the feelings of eternal self. It quickly changes, I can tell you. If you keep practicing, it takes a moment and then you say, oh yeah, I should be thinking this way. And very beautiful thoughts emerge. And I think this is what we need amongst ourselves for service and for serving the whole world. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Let's visit our homes in the Americas and the Caribbean. I'm so excited to go there. Are you? Let's go! Welcome to Canada. Today we are going to 4 places: Toronto, Brampton, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
next neighbor next door, Toronto, a very, very part of us here, and very well established. Every center has its own specialty, so I'm not going to describe it, but very, very good role model for families coming together and running not only the main center, all the centers, but also main center is run by many, many families together, and big number of students also. Hall is big, gets full every Sunday. So because it's not full now, people don't visit. So we all have gone now. So they will feel our presence, and then we visited all the centers. I hadn't seen also the other new small centers which I saw first time. So thank you very much for all the instruments who send us the pictures so we all can visit. And thank you, Sabi Ben. Hello, she's the main coordinator of the main center with a big team there. Arvind Bhai is in India still. Okay. Oh, Arvind Bhai from India. Okay. Mm. We're waiting for you to come. Okay. Hello, Om Shanti, brother from Scarborough. क्या नाम है इसका? Kugan Bhai, Kugan Bhai, and Surekha Ben and Raj Bhai. Mississauga. Mm. Happy to see you both. And Shobna Ben Brompton. Mm. And it's all together. They all are big, big team with lot of love and harmony, taking care. Om Shanti. We thank Baba and also say good night to Baba and take drishti in silence. Om Shanti and good night everyone. Om Shanti.